Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to Tarot Reading with dear Aprisa. And today we are going to do an exciting reading about you. We are going to uncover the side of you that wants to be seen. So the question today is really, who are you really? Because every day we live a life, we fulfill different roles in life, we show different sides of us to different people, depending on who this person is for us, who this person is in the constellation of our daily life and in the future. So in general, we always subconsciously think about, okay, can I trust this person? How much can I trust this person, right? And then how much do I want to show myself in front of this person, and which sides, and how this person is going to, like stay in my life, or how is this person going to play role in my life. So we think about that without thinking, like it's subconscious that we consider that. And the notion where we label ourselves, oh yeah, I'm an introvert, or oh yeah, I cannot do this and that, sometimes it's just limited by by us seeing one side of us instead of seeing the whole version of us. And today the reason for this reading is actually we want to see like who you think you are. That's as the energy check. And then afterwards we are going to look at who you really are. And the reason for this is that, again, coming back to what I just said, that we have different versions, different personalities, different sides of us, because in each of the roles that we do in life, we need to present different sides of us, right? Because we need to fulfill certain roles and expectations. And this doesn't mean that we're not authentic. This doesn't mean that we're fake. This is just us showing the necessary part for that particular job or that particular role, right? I mean, for example, I'm a mom. If I'm a mom, then I cannot talk about, for example, relationship or about juicy gossips and things like that, or I cannot even talk about that in my job, in my work as a coach on Instagram, or perhaps even here, right? So those conversations are going to be reserved for different people. And this doesn't mean that we are fake. So coming back to that, we have all the different sides of us, but what we are going to uncover in the early part, in the later part, where we want to see like who you really are, is actually just the side of you that wants to be seen, the side of you that wants to come out, that wants to express itself. Maybe because you have been forgetting it for quite a while or neglecting that. So today is going to be an exciting reading, and I'm so glad that you joined me for the first part of this reading. Thank you so much. So if you are new, hello, and if you are, I'm happy to have you here. But if you have been here for a while, thank you so much for subscribing and watching. I really hope that these videos are going to help you. Alright, so as you can see, I have cleared up the table for you, and right now we are going to choose your significators card, where you can choose your piles. Okay, so I think I just realized that this is not really symmetrical, but yeah, I think that's fine, right? Okay, let's pick for you. All right, for pile one, this is for pile one. This card has been coming out quite often, so if you did choose this card before, then not sure, maybe this is your sign, maybe this is the continuation of your messages. But if you have not but are interested in this card right now, feel free. We have the flying broom. I can let go of my mistakes with number 14. I apologize for my nail, by the way. I hope you don't see it, I hope you ignore it, but now the more we talk about it, then yeah. Okay, and then for pile two, the card for you, pile two, spirits please. Card for pile two, spirits. This is so because when I shuffle, sometimes I close my eyes. So okay, for pile two, spirits, can we have a card? I'm feeling this. No, I'm actually feeling this for number 3, and this one for pile 2. Yes. All right. Okay, pile 2, you have, oh my god, yeah, this card also showed up, I think, the same time with the flying broom. So if you also are familiar with this card, maybe there's a message from spirits for you. We have Shield of Crystals. I am loved and protected with number 25 with the squirrel. And then for pile 3, we have Freeze It. I freeze what I no longer want with 17 as the number. And with this, you know, like paper, frozen paper flowers, roses, I think, bucket of roses. All right, so these are your significator cards. Feel free to choose your cards, and then I'm gonna see you in your reading. Feel free to choose one or more, because maybe there are messages for you. If everything calls you, then feel free. All right, I'll see you in your reading. See you. Hello pile 1, if you chose the flying broom, I can let go of my mistakes with number 14, then this is going to be your reading. Alright, so in the first part of our reading, we are going to do an energy check, which is about what you think you see about yourself, and then we can treat this as an energy check. And if you feel like, yes, that's how I see myself, and then we can continue to the next part of the reading. But if that doesn't resonate, then feel free to choose another pile. Alright, so let's see. And if you see that there are no piles that speak to you, then maybe today is not your reading, but I have a couple other readings in my playlist. All right, so we have the flying broom, and then for pile 1, oh, that's fast. For pile 1, we have the divine love. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. That's beautiful. Look at this bird behind the boy. Is it a boy or a man? Okay, might be either, or young man. All right. Okay. Wow, okay. And then for pile 1, spirits. For pile 1, spirits. For pile 1, okay, like this. We have unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. All right. And then the last oracle card for you, pile 1. Right. Okay. We have, wow. Okay. Wow. This is such a beautiful energy, pile 1. Enchanted Fern Grotto with refuge and the number 16. All right, so all of these numbers, they can be a confirmation, they can be confirmation, 14 and 16. So okay, for a start, I have a feeling like something happens in between these ages, like between 14 and 16. I think the spirits want to emphasize to you in this reading particularly that there was something that happened when you were around 14 or 16, around that age, in between those in between the bracket, that was significant, that was important for you to review right now, or that part of you wants to show up and wants to say what it wants to say. All right, that's the first message that came through. And then let me read it for you. Maybe this is a little bit unstructured and unschematic, but your message is really very clear. Like, one of the things that you feel about yourself is like you question, why am I keeping on making mistakes? Why am I, maybe some of you even think, why am I such a failure? Why am I like this? Why I made so many bad decisions in my life? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Like, I see that there are lots of regrets, lots of I shouldn't have done that and things like that. And this reading is exactly wanting to remind you that, wait, there are a lot of things. Okay, I'm gonna okay, let me drink my coffee. So it seems like in the past, maybe there was a mistake, maybe not necessarily a lot of mistakes, but maybe there was a mistake that you did when you were around 14 or 16, or maybe you didn't even do a mistake, didn't even make a mistake, but it was made as if you did a mistake or a fatal mistake. Like, it's a really bad mistake, big huge mistake that you shouldn't have done. And this actually is the part of you that wants to come out today. So I think so whatever you are feeling these days, I think a little resolve, you can learn from that. You can get resolve from that situation. If you can do some inner child healing, if that's what you feel like you want to do, then you can do inner child healing, and you can like visit this version of you or that mistake and see from the third eye perspective the event and how you felt and what it was actually. And maybe you can even console yourself, yes, something like that. And then here with the divine love, when you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. I think what spirit is wants to tell you here is that what happened to you, what you did, were not mistakes. That was not mistakes. Maybe you did something wrong indeed, but that was not a mistake. It's okay. Yes, it's really okay. And you had your reasons, and it's I need to explore more of this energy, because this has such a loving and interesting lesson that we want to explore, that we can explore in this reading. I'm sorry, I don't know, like I'm at loss of words. I think when you experience this when you were younger or things like that, I mean, for some of you this can be during these ages, but some of you can be also very much earlier or just lately. But nevertheless, like, I think when you did this, when this happened, like, you were at loss of words. You couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't stand up for yourself. It's almost like the only feeling that you got was like, yes, I am wrong and I shouldn't have done that, and I'm bad, I'm not good enough, and things like that. But that was not the whole picture. And I think this is the whole picture that wants to show to you the truly you. So the true you is actually someone with a free spirit. You are a free spirit. You are a free spirit that is going to free other people, you know. The responsibilities, I see that for some of you, the responsibilities that were burdened on you, that made you do these mistakes, all right? So for example, you are given a responsibility, but that was out of your scope of work, or maybe out of your capacity. For example, we were talking about 14-year-olds, and then sometimes we have to do something that is beyond our age. And of course, when it's out of our, I'm so at loss of words here, but sometimes if it's beyond our capacity, then it's not easy for you to do it, right? It makes sense. It just makes sense because you haven't learned it. It's not exactly your responsibility, but because someone gave it to you, then you took it. You took the responsibility. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Or maybe even someone didn't tell you, but you're like, okay, I'm gonna assume this role. For example, someone who was left by one of their parents, and then they decided to step up to fulfill the role. All right, so definitely, because they were a child, they were still very young, they were not the parent, but because they decided to step up or take care of other people, then of course at some points they were going to fall short of that role, right? And I think this has been imprinting on you. If this resonates with you, this has been imprinted to you that you cannot do this task right. You will never be able to do this task right. Instead of realizing that that was not your job, yet you still did it anyway. And sometimes you failed, sometimes you made mistakes. And I think for some of you, the the consequence. I mean, I see this broom, when the broom can sweep off mistakes, right? Like can sweep off the dust. But also, I think in the old Asian families, I don't know about European or Western families and African. I think Africans too. We got punished with this kind of things. I mean, I never got the broom one, but I definitely got other things. Or I think my parents even they got things like broom and like being tied up or something like that, or belts and sandals and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not supposed to laugh because it's not funny, because it's painful. I'm so sorry I was laughing, but like this can represent punishment. So that's, I was seeing like some of you really experienced yeah, I'm sorry, I just realized that I actually have a weird coping mechanism where I laugh when I'm nervous, or when I'm feeling emotional, or when I feel like it's a coping mechanism, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I just realized this. It's good to know now that I'm watching myself. I mean, but the flying broom showed me that for some of you, the consequence of making this mistake was really big. That's why this is kind of imprinting to you, right? But here, what if that resonates with you, then we are going to continue to the next part of this reading, which is to see like who who are you really. So the first message that, oh, why is it weird? So the first message that comes through about who you really are is actually you. One, we talked about it, that the fact that you did that mistake. Wait, let me fix this. So the first message, right, in regards to who you are, like what you did, that was not your mistakes, because, or actually, like you can do bad things or you can make mistakes, and that's not really your fault, kind of. It's like universe and spirits want to console you that it's okay to make that mistakes, and that mistake didn't define who you are today. And if it has, then that better stop, because that's not true, that's not real. And who you are really right here is that you are a free soul, but somehow that responsibility that was burdened to you, that was not, like, you have assumed that responsibility, but you don't have to do that anymore, because there is this part that within you that needs to come out. So what is this part, right? Who is the real you? So the real you are a very actually, you are a playful person. So if you haven't seen it in you for a while, then this is the part of you that wants to come out, that wants to be seen, that wants to express itself, is the part of you where you are actually playful. And if you have been supporting people lately, or the past years, or things like that, or all of your life, then this is what spirits and universe want you to know, is that you can indeed take care of other people. You can indeed be a safe space for other people, but only and only when you are having fun, when you are freeing yourself from this responsibility. So I think, can you imagine, it's difficult to express. So this is like you, right? And then when you were young, or at some points in your life, you got burdened by responsibility to take care of other people, and within the part where you took this responsibility, or maybe not taking care of people but taking care of something, and then when you got this responsibility, you fell short because you didn't have the capacity, because that was not really your responsibility. You fell short, you made a mistake, right? And then the consequence of that thing, whether it's a punishment, whether it's like maybe you lost something, you lost someone, or like the consequence of that mistake was heavy to you, so that you kind of judged yourself for that, like, I'm not good enough in this department, I'm not good enough in this thing. And then you carried this picture with you until today. And then now what wants to be broken is this picture, this mental picture, that one, you're not available, two, that you're not responsible. That 3, that like making a mistake is really bad, that was all your fault. Like all of these pictures, they need to be broken, they need to be shattered and let go of, because these pictures are keeping you suffocated, like it suffocates you. You cannot act, you cannot, you're like bloom, you cannot bloom, you cannot fly, you cannot express yourself really fully because you remember these responsibilities. All right, so but now that you already know this, and then that side of you that wants to come out and play and be reckless a little bit, be unleashed, that part of you, when you do that, then you are actually already a nurturing person, you are already a responsible person, already kind, and like you are the safe space for people. It's here. So I think before you are able to give this to other people, you have to be the safe space for yourself. You have to give yourself a refuge, the refuge from all the past mistakes, from all the stuff that you did. I think some of you even are worried about making decisions right now these days because it might sound irresponsible. For example, you want to do something really fun with your life, but you thought to yourself, no, I'm not going to do that because that's not responsible, because that's not what a responsible person would do. I'm afraid I would make a mistake, that's too risky, and things like that. I think that's what's coming through here. All right, so yeah, let's explore that. I was saying something about this, but I don't remember what. Honestly. But yeah, is there any messages that is related to this? Whether it's something that I forgot or maybe something else, Spirit. Yes, please. One. We have 9 of Cups. I hope you can still see the cards. Let me see. Yes, you can still see the cards. And then, where was the second one? This one. We have 6 of Cups. Wow, lots of feelings here. We already have 15 feelings. And then ended by Justice. Okay, this is so good. This is interesting. Okay. First of all, you are a very feeling person. You are very caring. You are very loving, actually. So if in any way in your life, at any points you ever felt that you are not loving, that you are detached, aloof, or cold, or harsh, or angry, pushing people away, like that is not the real you. All right, so the real you is actually, you are a very sensitive soul with beautiful heart. That's what that is. And I think for some portion of your life, you have been blaming yourself for feelings, for feeling deeply, for feeling so compassionately towards others. But here, the Justice is like cut to the chase, but not in the harsh way, but it's like, stop judging your feelings, stop making scene out of your feelings. Like, you have big feelings, you have deep feelings, and that's already enough to to create drama, kind of like to create chaos and things like that, even without you have to label your feelings, or not label, to judge your feelings. Stop it right there. Like, you have feelings, good, great. You feel angry, good, great. But you don't have to overindulge to the feelings, but also at the same time judge the feelings, shame yourself for having the feelings. And actually, this is something that you can give to other people. I think it's saying, like, tap into those feelings, but not drown into the feelings. Because as you can see, these cups are, they're not spilling, for one, and then you are not drowned in the feelings. So If in any way people ever judge you or, you know, shame you for feeling a lot or feeling deeply and things like that, then this is something that you need to let go of, okay? Because this is actually, your feelings are actually something that you can offer to the world, something that you can give to people. And your feelings actually, surprisingly, I'm gonna check out, they can create balance in your life. Balance and, let me just put it here, balance and stability in your life, actually. I mean, you can even be someone who stand in the middle in difficult situation, because you can empathize with both parties and you can talk to both parties, and you know, like, you can make everyone feel seen. And I think this is part of your journey, of your purpose, of your service, for example, whether it's going to be your work or your role in life or things like that. But first you gotta play. Okay, okay, see, we have 9 of Cups. Yes, this is aligned, right? Like, you need to it's more, the energy is more like, think about yourself first. So to serve others, you don't have to think about serving others, but you need to take care of yourself first. You need to think about yourself first, and then you are going to able to help others. And then I go, yes, I like this. Don't be scared. We have the Death card here, and this is a very beautiful Death card, as you can see, right? Yeah, because I think we always have, and the color matches, and we have different sides of us. So even your emotions, they have 2 sides of that. For example, so let me share this with you. People usually have their dominant feeling or dominant emotion. If you have watched that movie, Inside Out, it's a cartoon movie, but it's really good because it taps into psychology. Maybe not exact psychology, but it can help to visualize or understand us humans from psychological perspective, particularly the emotion. I'm not a psychologist myself, so but what I'm trying to say here is that you know, even anger, for example, or sadness, whatever your dominant psychology is, because in the movie, like, there is one leader in each of the brain of the person's brain, and this leader, the dominant feeling, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness or joy, they always have the other side of the coin. Even joy, when your dominant feeling is joy, then joy can also have the dark or the shadow side of it, you know, like brushing away struggles and trying to, you know, it's okay, it's, you know, like something like that. So anger, obviously, it has the dark side, but also it has the light side, which is anger can fuel you for your fight, to fight for a good cause, you know. So there's always 2 sides of it. So I think when you think about your feelings, when you feel deeply and then you feel like you are drowning, this is something that you can do to see if you are actually like, your anger, like, what is it talking about? What wants to be free? What wants to be freed? What fight do you actually wanna fight? What battle? Something like that. But nevertheless, I think, to summarize our reading today, what I see in you is someone that wants to be free, someone that is playful, someone that needs to be taken care of before others, someone that wonders, when is it my turn? When is it like, that part of you that wants to be released is someone that is almost like free of responsibility. And this is not to say that it's okay, you don't have to do your responsibility or things like that, but it's more saying, you know, you don't have to carry all of this alone. You don't have to be responsible to everyone. You don't have to be the role model for everyone. I mean, sometimes when you want to be, when you feel like you assume the role model identity, then you start feeling like I cannot make any mistakes. Like every step that I make has to be correct, right? So this is it. Like you want a permission to be free, to be playful, to make mistakes. That is the version of you that wants to come out. The playful side of you, the one that is so connected to life, the one that is creative, that is a hard worker, that is blooming, that is confident, that is, and this is the transformation. The transformation for you is not like the kind of, you know, I think it's going to be different. Yeah, this is the transformation for you. I think I wanted to say something, but then I took them back, because I think we are in different phases of healing. And for you here, some of you, the healing really can be about going into the depth, because we have death here, which is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is the depth, and this is also, you have refuge here, so this is like the depth, like going to the deep. But also for some of you, you can just cut to the chase. So if you have been in a healing process for a while, and you felt like you have been doing most of the work, then maybe what you need to do right now is to cut and to like, okay, that's it, that's done, I'm good, you know, I'm good, and I'm gonna do what I love, I'm gonna just do it. But for some of you, I think you need to do the deep work, and that's why the message are like both justice and death. Yeah, it's going to be different for each of you. So yeah, if you are interested in exploring this deeper, then feel free to tap the link in my description box. I have personalized reading as of these days. So I don't know, if you watch this in a few years time, maybe I'm not going to offer personalized reading anymore. But yeah, for now I can help you to explore, like, is it the justice part or is it the death part that you need to go through, and what kind of healing that you can take, and perhaps, yeah, other things that you want to ask, of course. All right, pile one, that was your reading. Wow, I really hope that you set yourself free and you allow yourself to play. And whatever process that you are taking, whether it's justice or death, if you are not taking personalized reading with me, that's absolutely fine. I really hope that it's all going to, you know, like work out really well. I'm seeing good result, because you have the Nine of Cups, Nine of Coins here, which are really abundant. So I see if in any way there are financial problems or emotional situation that are tumultuous to you, problematic to you, then it's going to be solved. It's going to be okay. Things are changing for the better. And the fact that I see we have Six of Cups here, and seeing the old relationships here, I think for some of you it can be related to old relationships with people around you. And I think for some of you, this can be healing with those people, or this healing is going to help you connect better with those people, right? So that is your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I'm gonna see you in the next reading. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the shield of crystals with I am loved and protected with the squirrel, and the shield with the number 25, then this is going to be your reading. So the first section of this reading, we are going to look at how you see yourself part, and the energy surrounding you. And then afterwards we are going to see the true you that wants to come out in this reading. It can be different for every one of you, so I hope you watch the first part of this reading. But if you're not, yeah, it's something like that. And if you are interested in other piles, feel free to watch them too, because maybe you have different messages from each of those piles. So this is your significator card. We're gonna put it to the left, and I'm gonna grab some more cards for you. All right, pile 2, spirits for pile 2. I think this is, oh, okay, we have inner child. We have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Okay, this is interesting. If you are interested in pile 1, then feel free to watch that too after this pile, because we were talking about inner child as well. All right, without having inner child card, actually. All right, for pile 2, spirits. I feel that. Okay. You have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Wow. Okay, we are seeing some patterns here. And then for pile 2, from this deck, please, spirits. For pile 2, spirits. Wow, that's a lot of cards. Okay, well, we see this owl spirit and this one. Okay, let me just put it here. I'm just gonna trust the process and let the cards that want to come out come out. Okay, you have 5 cards. Pile 2. We can fit them. That's all right. You have standing stones with passage, with number 27 and number 40. All right. So this is interesting because both of them wear red dresses. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's see. All right, let me read. Okay, pile 2. This is the part where you need to check if this reading resonates with you, right? So I think you consider yourself to be like you have a wall. You protect yourself, and this is how you protect yourself. You have a wall. You don't allow people to get into you, to understand you really. Like, you share very limitedly with people. You are not open, because you learn that it's not safe to share who you are, because you protect yourself. You are really careful with who you are, and I think there is this inner child inside of you that actually wants to be seen, right? I want to get more cards to see what is this about. Maybe we can understand more from pile 2, spirits. Help me understand pile 2, spirits, in regards to this. Okay, feeling this and this. Okay, we have 5 of Wands. Okay, all right. We have 6 of Wands. Interesting. 5, 6. Okay, and then we have Queen of Swords. Okay, all right. It seems to me like there was, or there is, tension or conflict. For some of you, it can be like really open conflict where people are fighting, or people show that they don't like each other or each other's decision or each other's personality and things like that. But for most of you, this is something that is really subtle. You cannot really see it. Like, people might not be fighting, might not be arguing or looking angry and things like that, but the tension is there. You can feel the tension. You can feel that in the air there is something, like people perhaps are walking on eggshells with each other. And I think this, because we have inner child here, I'm seeing, like, for some of you, this can be how your family looked like when you were young, or when you were with your family, or if you are still with your family these days. Like, people are trying to tiptoe around each other, trying to not make mistakes, because trying to not hurt the other person. There is a possibility for some of you this can be centered around one person. So one person is very influential, and then everyone else has to comply. Or this is also can be like you have a particular issue with someone around you, and it can be, the issue can be just difference in perspective, not like you hate this person or you are angry with this person, not really, but it's just like you understand that there is a difference in perspective, and if you are being honest, if you open yourself, then it's gonna create a problem, right? And I think part of you, you were being seen or feeling seen when you are creating something great. But when you're not, like your mistakes are punished, but your goodness is seen, not even celebrated or something like that. People just say, okay, yeah, that's as supposed to be, like that's what you're supposed to do when you do great things. But when you do bad, there is a consequence, something like that. That's what I'm seeing. This was to me, so this is the energy check, right? If this resonates, then we can continue. You can continue. If not, you can look for other piles. But this feels to me like it was a hostile environment for you to grow. For some of you, really hostile, and can be toxic also for some of you. And this is why you decided to create a wall outside of you to protect yourself, to make sure that people don't come in too close, so that they don't see real you, and they just see the good that you create, right? Yeah. And here, interestingly, we have break the chain, ancestral pattern, healing, rewriting the future. I think there's another card here that reminds me of that. It's come out of the cave, and this cave reminds me of that, although this is not the card. But it's like to see this woman right here, outside of the cave, and all of these are shadows. I feel like the real you actually wants to come out of the shadow. I think part of you that wants to, the true you really wants to come out, and this true you is someone who wants to really be seen for who you are, to stop covering yourself. But for some of you, this process is really, really painful and really, really scary, and I'm so sorry to hear this. If this is you, then this feels tiring and this feels heavy. But for some of you, maybe not as heavy, but because you are coming out of cave already, but it's still difficult. And you realize that when you are out, then it's almost like there is a feeling like, am I betraying my family if I open up? If I open up and apparently I'm not the same person as my family, if the person that I showed in the early years of my life or at home are actually a different person, right? So for some of you, with all of these shadows also, I feel like for some of you, you have been doing this a few times. Like this is layer by layer. You're doing this layer by layer. So some of you, this is going to be your first time. You're trying to get out of that shell, get out of that cave, and trying to be honest with yourself about who you are. But for some others, this has been this has been an ongoing process, and you've done this over and over again. But right now, this is yet another layer that wants to come out. And the fact that we have these women with red dress, I feel like the version that wants to come out is really bold, actually. Is really bold and really confident. And you can be a he, she, or they, but these two ladies, to me, they show that, they're bold and they're not scared to be seen. For example, if there's an event and there is someone, a woman wearing red dress like this, people will see her, right? Despite how she looks or things like that, but people are going to see her. So I think you realize here, if you do this, people are going to see you, and it can be scary. It can be, for some of you, it really feels like it's almost like dying, like, oh no, right? If I get seen, then I might die. Like the fear is real. I feel the fear is real. And but the thing that you need to hear here is that your family or whoever people that didn't see you, they don't have to see you here. For you to be able to go here to this place, they don't have to see you. You don't have to make them see you. It's like the people that are going to see you are not going to be these people who didn't see you. So, for example, I'm imagining someone that is not feeling seen by their parents for whatever that is, right? Whether it's for the personality, achievements, or things like that. And then you try to get approval so much from your parents, right? And which is valid because we grew up wanting to be approved and to be supported, to be protected by our parents. So we had to do that for survival. And now that you are growing, I think some of you even have already gotten this recognition from people, but yet deep down you are still looking forward to approval from people from your past, whether it's your parents or your siblings or your friends and things like that. But the thing is, they are not the same people as those who are going to recognize you. So you can either keep on pushing and trying to make them see you for who you are, when actually they're not your audience, kind of audience. Yeah, I give a quotation marks here. They might not be your people. I mean, they are your people. I mean, for example, they're your parents, and then yeah, they're your parents. Obviously, they're your people. But this is not what I'm talking about. They're not the people that are going to support you or push you to the further side of your dreams. You know, to your bigger goals. They're not the people. So stop chasing for their approval. Maybe one day they will approve you. Maybe they won't. Maybe one day they will be able to see you. Maybe they won't. But it doesn't matter because they're not your people. They're not your audience, you know. This is not the kind of fight that you need to fight, right? So, wow. So, who is pile 2, spirits? Who is pile 2 really? I'm feeling this. You have King of Cups. You have the World. You're not supposed to play small. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's heavy if you okay, I'm just gonna push the cards a little. Maybe we can have, let me see. Okay, we have both. Yeah, you're not supposed, yeah, and then this is the last card, right? Okay, you have Hierophant. Okay. With the King of Cups here and the World, first, the World. The World shows me that you're supposed to play big. You're supposed to be seen by the world. The world is your oyster. So that's your field. It's a big field. It's not a small field, right? Pile 2. It's not a small field. You're supposed to be seen with the 6 of Wands here and the World here. You're supposed to be seen. You're supposed to be seen with your wisdom, with your not composure, because I see like this is someone who masters their emotion, right? So I think with these are not fire, right? But I always see this like fire. So it's almost like where was I? You don't have to pretend like you're stoic and things like that, because I think with the Shield of Crystals it makes me feel like you try to present a calm and stoic like looking composed and you know, but really and peaceful and joy, not making any problems with anyone, you know. It's like you're playing safe, but you're not supposed to play safe. You're supposed to challenge the narratives. You're supposed to speak out. With the red dress, I also see that there is passionate anger, like a sacred anger that you're supposed to yeah, when I thought of it and I said that you're closed off, it's not just closed off, but it's just you're not showing who you really are to the world. And with this red dress, like there is an anger, passion, a desire that wants to come out, and this is what's going to fuel you and your work. This is beautiful energy. But there you are, I see that there is a possibility of you taking too much responsibility. Once you unleash this is what you need to remember. Like, just because you are being seen right now, just because you show yourself to more people, right, and more recognition, and you got, for example, more followers, doesn't mean that you have to carry all of the stuff. For example, I'm gonna use an easy example, with the, when you teach on social media, for example, and you have this one, maybe, for example, you have found your niche, right? And then you have been talking about this one particular topic that you are so expert in, and people love you for that. You can, the burden can come in two ways, okay? So the first way is that the burden is for you to only talk about this one topic that you master, the topic that you are niched in. Yeah, that is the first pressure, that is the first burden. And then you start to think like, I'm not supposed, for example, you are an astrologer, for example, and then I'm an astrologer, I'm not supposed to talk about this, situation that is happening in the world, in the country, or about the social and politics. I don't want to go there because it's scary, because that's not my expertise. But deep down you feel so enraged by the situation, and you feel like you want to speak up, but you wonder like, but this is my niche, I shouldn't do this, but I really feel it. And every day you watch the news, you study, you learn about the situation, you have a message that is so important for you to deliver, and you want to speak it out like, oh, you have that feeling, but you're still thinking, I don't need to talk about that because that's not my field, that's not what my people want me to talk about. That is the first burden. If you really feel like you have to talk about it, it's like this King of Cups, that feeling, that rage is behind you, that fuels you, as I said here, that is what's going to fuel you. Then say it, because you have something to say, you have a message, you have a platform, for example, right? And then, for example, you can also be not in social media, for example, but you have a position, you are allowed to take a stance, to show your stance, like, this is where I stand, and this is what I believe in, and the spirit of what I believe in is going to fuel my work. The spirit is going to show my values. My values are rooted in this spirit, in the spirit of justice, in the spirit of, um, saying, speaking up, saying what I believe, what I believe in, to stand in the truth, and those kind of stuff. Okay, so it's going to be different. And seeing the world here also, maybe that confirms that for some of you this is about speaking up about that, to whether it's speaking in your platform or in your community or with your people and things like that. And the second burden is the burden to follow what your people request, right? So this is like different camp from the first burden. All right, so let's leave the first burden and then we continue with the second burden. The second burden is you have this one thing that you really trust, and you're working on this, but then, because you know a lot of things, people are starting to project on you, like, you should be talking about this, you should be talking about that, I want to know about this, I want to know about that. And then you start feeling like burdened, like, okay, I know I have the expertise here, and it feels wrong if I don't do that. I mean, they have a point, I should share about this, I should, like. And then it starts to burden you, because you start talking about things that, yes, you are expert in, but you don't really feel like that is it. So I think it's the ability, because this is the Hierophant, and Hierophant is card number 5, and that reminds me of human design profile line 5. So if you have profile line 5, or if you are a teacher, maybe this is an additional confirmation to you, because people project to you all the time. People come to you to ask you about things, and just because they ask you something, then it has to be, I'm still talking about the social media, for example. If you are on social media, and then People are going to approach you and they are going to ask you about all of things, but not everything are going to be the things that you talk about on your social media. Yeah. You don't, just because someone asked you about it doesn't mean that they are the right topics for you, or that is the right way of you directing your stuff. Sometimes people ask just because they think you are capable of answering their questions or anything. You are free to answer or not to answer, because everyone's situation is different here. Use your own wisdom, but just because you can answer them doesn't mean that it has to be content, or it has to be your next direction. All right, so that is your message, pile 2. That is the real you. The real you is someone who is open, who is fire, who is like embody this emotion, using this emotion to speak up. And that is really beautiful to see. If there is anything that I can help you to explore your reading, or perhaps even coaching, I have the link in description box and you can click it. I do personal reading. But other than that, this is such a beautiful energy. Wherever you are in your process, I really wish you all the best, so you can come out of your cave and you can fight, you can speak up for the world, for yourself, for your own world, and be seen more. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope this helps you, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next reading. Bye bye. Hello pile 3, if you chose freeze it, I freeze what I no longer want with number 17, then this is going to be your reading. So first we are going to look at how you see yourself or what you feel about yourself, and then after that we are going to explore. If the energy matches, you can continue explore the truly you, the part of you that wants to be seen, that wants to be to express itself, and to to show up, to yeah, essentially that. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, for pile 3, if you come from pile 1 or pile 2, welcome. But if not, that's okay too. Okay, let's see. Spirits for pile 3. Who are they, or how do they see themselves? How? Yes, I'm feeling this one. Humility. Oh, look at this. Look at these colors, blue and purple. Okay, humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. Okay, very beautiful. Humility. Okay, freeze it. I freeze what I no longer want. Let's put them here. Then grab more cards. Oh, okay. Yes, just say yes. Okay. I was about to ask, and then yes, just say yes. Oh, interesting. Something came true. I think part of the version of you that wants to come out is actually really straightforward, really decisive. You want to, someone that wants to take opportunity. Playfulness. Elves with playfulness. For you, pile 3. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Such a beautiful energy. I think how you see yourself. What's interesting here is that, wow, pile 3, I like your energy actually. Actually, you are a very deep person, and you are really wise. This is you. This is what I see. You are very wise, and you know it. You have wisdom. You have discernment. You have your boundaries, and oh, that's interesting. You have the ability of saying no. You have the ability to put boundaries. But I think sometimes it's almost to your own detriment. Let me ponder a little bit, because I'm just gonna make sure that these two energies that I feel don't clash. Yeah, so okay, you are already a decisive person. All right, so you are a decisive person, you know, you can make decision, you are very wise. And at the same time, I think you have learned to be humbled, like life humbled you, and then now you kind of see yourself in a different way. So you are actually an action taker, you are decisive, and you can maintain the boundaries. Um, and I think there is this point where you are a little bit feeling a little bit, am I actually putting a lot of, you know, um, fans of people? Like you, the part of you that wants to, you have, because you have earned a lot of wisdom throughout the years, throughout the experiences, now you want to learn to be able to say yes again to life, you know. So there is this part where you gain wisdom, you healed yourself, but then it made you a little bit like cold. Not like you hate people or anything, but you are distancing yourself from the world a little bit. And there are stuff, this is what I feel, that you want to say yes to, stuff that don't quote have a meaning, you know. What is the word, not arbitrary, it's provincial, no, not provincial, it's something that is so insignificant. You want to do insignificant things, and you want to say yes to insignificant things. You want to say yes to silly, you want to say yes to just fun, to just play without purpose, unstructured play without goals, you know. Like when you're in kindergarten, I know maybe you don't remember that, me neither, but in kindergarten, play is designed to help you learn, right? And there are other things, like for example, if you run a workshop or if you go to a workshop, right? And then there are several activities that will be designed like a play, but actually it's, or like a game, but it's actually where you can learn, like you are going to learn something from there. Let's say that application for learning language, right? It's, they have games where you can play, but this is not that. Don't play because you wanna learn something, play because you want to play. Like play doesn't have to have anything attached to that. Play is play. Just play. I think you want to do some fun, you want to do this part of you that wants to come through is the part of you that wants to say yes to crazy things, to say yes to taking risks, to be silly, to be a little bit reckless. Yeah, saying yes to this. I'm feeling like I want to grab more of this and this. So let's see, because in other piles I go directly to the tarot cards. So let's see. I'm feeling this one. You might not see it, but hope jar. Jar. My Lord, my English. Hope jar. I am full of hope and I take action. Okay, tell me, what's the purpose of a hope jar? It's to make a hope, to make a wish? Yeah, okay. I am full of hope and I take action. Okay, that's interesting. And then one card from here. Ooh, yeah, it jumped just like that. Oh wow, this is like pile 2. So if you come from pile 2, hello. But if you are attracted to pile 2, maybe this is your sign. We have a nice reading there too. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Okay, what is this about? I'm feeling curious with this thing that you want to say yes to. I think what is here is that you want to go back to that innocent you, where you can say yes, where you can say yes without thinking the consequence, where you can dream. Like, this reminds me of my childhood. Okay, it was in 19 I'm telling you this story as if as if this is an ancient time. It was 1993. I was playing with my cousin in the backyards, and then we started running around and left my house. I left my house with my cousin. I was 8 at the time, and I really liked Sailor Moon series. If you don't know what Sailor Moon is, then maybe we're not the same age. I like Sailor Moon. So this is like a manga, or is it anime? And then everything was called cartoon back then. Okay, it's Japanese. So we went there to a little forest behind my house, and because there were no people, like my country did not this many people as of now. Now we have like 280 million people, and in my hometown alone, I think we have more than 10 million people. So it's a lot of people. That's what I wanted to say. But back then, there were not so many people. So I went to the forest, and it's not far in the suburbs. It's still in a good area. And then we ran out and we started to scream, moon power makeup with the power of the moon, something like that. Like, Sailor Moon, I don't remember the words, because I watched it in Indonesian. So it's like, like, oh yeah, this, we made this. So if you know Sailor Moon, then yeah. It's like we were screaming our heart out, hoping, or like really, really wishing that we can be Sailor Moon and Sailor Venus. And that tuxedo, mask tuxedo, is going to fall in love with either her or me. All those kind of imaginations. So I think, yeah, the reason why I said that is because when I saw this, I'm like, you want to say yes to big dreams, to dreams that are not, quote, possible, to dreams that it's almost like there's no chance you are going to get it, just because, for example, I wanted to be Sailor Venus, and I was always jealous to my cousin because she's the Sailor Moon, and she turned into Princess Serenity, which got the mask tuxedo, which was very handsome. Hello. But anyway, if you're not interested in that, that's not the whole idea. But brace with me here. So I was thinking, it was impossible. It will never happen. I will never be Sailor Moon or Sailor Venus whatsoever. But still, I screamed my lungs out, like praying to God that I would be Sailor Venus at some point in my life. And maybe some part of the Sailor Venus is in me actually already. I know this is a crazy talk, but that's what I mean. Like, allow yourself to dream crazy, even if something that really that will never happen. But allow yourself to scream it out loud, to do something about it, to like give yourself that opportunity to do that, even if it's pointless, even if it's insignificant. I think your soul needs this. It's almost like it wants to tap into that like childish part of you that believes in miracles, that believes in stories, in imaginations, in the perfect life, in the perfect dream, in fantasy. I think that. And I'm particularly interested in this take action because it feels like, besides saying yes to this, then, for example, the Sailor Venus, like, who is Sailor Venus? I don't even remember. I just remember that the smart one is Ami, but I know Minako. What did she do? But anyway, not you need to do, but you can do something about it. Like, Sailor Venus, for example, she's yellow and orange kind of stuff. And if you feel like, oh, I want to embrace the Sailor Venus inside of me, and I liked yellow back then, and that was not because of her, but I just liked yellow. And I am in fact wearing lemon yellow t-shirt right now, and this color as well. So like, embrace that and allow yourself, no matter how stupid that sounds. I think you need a permission to be a little bit silly, to be seen as impossible, to be seen as, what are you doing, pile 3? Like, that's a child's play. You don't need that. No, you need that, and you're allowed to do that. This is not a waste of time, because not everything has to be productive. Not everything has to be financially rewarding or accomplishing. All right, so yeah, pardon the long story, but I hope you like it. Maybe you resonate with something. I mean, maybe you're not a Sailor Moon girl or boy. Maybe you're something else that I don't know. Maybe One Piece. I don't know. Or I love One Piece too. Okay, but what is this about, right? Yeah, I think this is interesting, but I think this is interesting because this reading is asking you to give yourself a space, little space, to give space for your dreams. Because in a way, I'm seeing that something is going to happen as you allow yourself to dream and to and to behave, not to behave, to act, no, to tap into the child's part of you, the childish part of you almost. It's not even the it's even childish. That's like, you are allowed to be childish sometimes. I think this pile is so wise, is so mature, and I think you are tired of that. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, you can still be wise and have this side of you. Okay, what is pile 3 needing to see actually? The Emperor. Okay, I see that some of you are actually leader, and the fact that you are a leader, that makes you feel like, you know, I'm a leader, I have a position, I cannot do that. That's too silly, that's too childish. It is embarrassing. I as a coach, I as a CEO, I as an influencer, as a mother, father, leader of the community, I shouldn't have that. I think people forgot that it's okay to be human, and I mean, this is what came through just now. When you are honest, for example, about this Sailor Moon stuff, and for example, I still like Sailor Moon. I mean, I still like Sailor Moon, but if I imagine you have a coach, and your coach, I'm just gonna say she because it's easier to relate for me. For example, your coach is very wise, is very you know, like, she's cool, she's amazing, she posts wise and educational contents, but you know, like, she's that quote, she doesn't have quote personality, not because she doesn't have, but because she doesn't show that part of her, you know. But then one time you found out that your coach actually likes gaming. For example, she likes anime. One day she posts about, you know what, I watch this anime, or you know what, I have been watching One Piece, for example, and I really like this character because he is blah blah blah. For example, me, okay, I like One Piece. I mean, I just watched the series, the human one, on Netflix, and I really like Monkey D. Luffy. And when I thought about him, I see that this is a leader that is willing to die for his followers, for his people. He doesn't have any reservation. And when I realized, as I watched that, and I realized, like, this person is amazing. This is the kind of character, the personality that I want to strive to have. And when I realized that I really like Monkey D. Luffy because of that, it makes me feel like, you know, that maybe I have something like that within me as well. But when I share about this, I'm going to resonate with people. Not only I'm a coach, not only I'm a coach, but also people are going to see that, right, Aprisa also got her wisdom partly from watching this. So there's no shame about watching movies, about watching series. You don't have to read self-help books all the time, psychology books all the time, or maximize your productivity and work and things like that, or meditate all the time and be spiritual. But you can also have fun and enjoy your life. And even show the part of you where you are multifaceted, right? And this is something, and with the Eight of Wands here, this speaks to me like this is communication. So you don't have to share everything. Like me, for example, I told you about this monkey Diluvi and what I think about him and things like that. You know, like there are different angles or perspectives that you can use to introduce this to your followers or to your people. I mean, you might not be posting on social media platforms, but maybe if you are leading, for example, if you are a mother, you are a parent, you are leading, or if you are a manager, or if you are a supervisor, you are someone, and people are looking up to you. But you don't have to be stoic all the time, like this, like with the freeze. Like you don't have to be looking cool all the time. You can still be human. And this, the playfulness, the yesness, maybe you have been doing this, but you are hiding it. This is something that you can share, so people can relate to you better. So they don't follow you just because they respect you or scared of you, but also because they see you as another human being. And this is a more powerful way of connecting with someone, with other people, to show that you don't have to say like, you know, for example, I don't do this, but for example, I watched the series, and then I was very excited about it, and then I spend my time until 3 a.m. in the morning to watch the interviews or to watch the reviews and things like that. I mean, I do that too, you know, like last time, if you have been following me, you know that I'm a fan of K-pop Demon Hunters, and I watched that until 3 in the morning for a few days, not every day, but like different days in the morning, because I was watching the reviews, people's reaction about that. So it's really exciting. And I was thinking, did I think about it? No, I actually didn't. But I'm thinking, if I share this right now, I'm thinking if I share this can create a, you know, when you are a coach, people are thinking that you are always living a perfect life, you know, that you always sleep at 10 and then you always wake up at 4 or 5 to meditate and journal and then to study, and then have you take care of the house and you work, you start creating content, you coach and you create workshop, webinar, you speak somewhere, you know, and then in the afternoon you're gonna do yoga or going to the gym, blah blah blah, and eat smoothie and juice. But the reality is messy. Reality is messier than that. We are human beings, and there are parts where we watch Netflix. There are parts where we hang out on YouTube more than we hang out with our family or kids or friends, you know. Sometimes it happens, and that's okay. And this, like, you don't have to explain or say all of this, but you know, like infusing this is not infuse infusing this to your audience or your message, that you are still human too, that you are also doing something that you like, that feels your heart. I think is going to be really, really meaningful, right? You don't have to share everything. For example, as a coach, for me, one of the things that could kind of suck lately, or I realized, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe in that department of life I'm not the luckiest. There is one department in my life that I haven't been really lucky, and I thought for the longest time like I should be able to solve this because I'm a coach. I need to get my life together. But when I think of it, there are a lot of things that are out of our control. So no matter how much I heal, no matter how much I work on it, I might not be lucky there, or maybe I'm not supposed to have what I want, or you know, sometimes it's just it. There's nothing wrong with us. And when we share this, I mean, I'm not talking about this very openly either. I mean, you probably know if you have been following me, but if not, then maybe you don't know what that is, right? And I can say for now, what is this, September 2025, it's in relationship department. I'm not the luckiest. I mean, I'm not. And no matter how much I try, so far it hasn't been working, you know, despite me using all of my healing modalities or my coaching ability to, or even, you know, like this spiritual stuff and reading with cards and things like that. But it's just like sometimes it's God's work, you know. So sometimes I just cannot force it, and that's okay, right? So having this in the open, for me, like, it's going to be different for you and me, but it's okay to be quote incomplete, to be like that, and to be incomplete. Like for example, we're talking about the games and anime and all the insignificant fun. Right, I think you really need this one. Oh, this is exciting. Okay. Oh, what else does pile 3 needs to know? Temperance. Oh, good. Okay, I see this. The Hermit. Ah, yeah, this is very beautiful and very exciting. Yeah, so the message is really clear actually. So if in any way you feel scared, like, oh no, what if I got addicted to this stuff, because I had the tendency, for example, you know what, okay, this is a very vulnerable pile. I'm sharing with you a lot of stuff. So I used to, when I was doing my internship, medical degree, as a medical doctor, I spent many of my weekends just playing Sims. Do you know that game in the computer? Sims on my laptop. I was a medical student. I played Sims. I didn't shower. I mean, I looked accomplished. I'm not bad in at school, and I did a side gig at the time. I helped translate journals and documents and things like that from Indonesian to English and English to Indonesian back then. But at the same time, and I had boyfriend, and like I had life, but behind all of that, I spent my whole weekend in a pile of clothes of mine, because I'm very messy, playing Sims. I do not eat, I do not shower, I do not take care of my house, or of my room, because I was staying in a like a boarding house, like a student house, something like that. And I just went out to buy food when I'm really, really hungry. So it's really not a good way to take care of myself. And this is what the exact card is trying to say. You don't have to go back there. Like for example, me, Aprisa. Okay, Aprisa, fine. You can play games, you can play Sims, whatever you want, but do not fall back to that. Stay in moderation, like moderate your use, moderate your play. I mean, if you are scared that you are going to fall back into that habit, you don't have to do that again. You don't have to go back to the old lifestyle. But also, I think right now you have more of the wisdom, because I said here that you are wise. You have the wisdom to separate and to discern and to have boundaries. And this is where the boundaries that you have learned before will be useful. It is to to give yourself boundaries with the games. Is that a cat? Can you hear the cat? Yeah. Yes, that's the cat. Yeah, so maintain this. So be careful of you not isolating yourself from people because of that, of whatever this is. So if this is a hobby that will help you to connect with other people, then you also still need, then look at this, I made this, then you need to make sure that you're not you don't forget your own energy, that you ground yourself at times, and that you remember who you are. But at the same time, and I think you are going to do this successfully, because you already have the like you already have the knowledge and the skills to discern, and you just need to use it right now. You don't have to be scared. What if I'm doing something so insignificant, and then I fall in love with it, and then I am not wise anymore, I cannot lead anymore, and things like that? Don't be scared of that, because you already have the skills, and you are going to rewriting the future. So the way you are going to use all of this fun is not going to be the same. It's going to help you, and I think it's going to help bring you forward to a new space, to a new level actually, which is interesting. I'm gonna all right, so yeah, all right, that is your reading. But let me just grab one more card. Oh wow, Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing. I think it's going to make you more confident, because right now you are embracing more parts of yourself, and you tap into that. You are not just using your yourself today, but you are using your inner child too. And I think that is really powerful, because the inner child that you have is really fueling you to be more playful and to connect with people better. And I think this is, I'm feeling like alchemy, like you are alchemizing all the different parts of yourself, and it's going to give you confidence, because then right now you realize, at least no matter how much you share about this, even if you just say one sentence, I think it's going to give you this sense of, now I'm not rejecting myself anymore, now I am full, now I'm complete. And that is the part of you that wants to be seen, like the playful part of you. Like, that's who you are. You're not just a leader, you're not just a wise person, but you are a dreamer, you are playful, you are full of life. That's who you are. All right, pile 3, what a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. And you, if you like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, if you need a personalized reading or anything, just let me know. There's a link in the description box. Feel free to tap it. And yeah, so that is your reading. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next reading. Bye bye.